It's another exciting time, and if you know the time of the day, and if you're hearing my voice, you know what time it is, you know why we're here. Today is another episode of the very impactful Ninja Landlord Show. Ninja Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM. And I'm always, as usual, as excited to be with you. I'm also very excited because today is another very special edition. I have a guest in the studio with me, and also we have a very insightful, very valuable topic that we're going to be addressing today. And we're also going to this topic is in line with the Women's Month. Tomorrow is the International Women's Day, right? And so I thought it's right that we should have this discussion about women and real estate. Okay, as we all know, the Nigeria Landlord Show is your number one in real estate investment platform that brings you all the news and training updates, as well as the information in the Nigeria real estate market. On this show, we show you how to make real estate work for you. And today we are talking about a very insightful, valuable section, and we're using it in celebration of the Women's Day. Yes, that's what we're looking at. And I have, like I said, very beautiful and distinguished guests in the house who I'll be introducing shortly. And today our topic is single, married, divorced, widowed, property decisions every woman must understand. So yes, this topic cuts across every lady, every female, right? If no matter your status, as far as you're 18 and above, as far as you're earning, or you are looking to go into the real estate market, then you must definitely listen to what we have to share today. All right, so the topic once again is single, married, divorced, widowed, property decisions every woman must understand. That's what we're going to be looking at today. So before I dive into that, I would like to quickly talk about those who have reached out and you're asking so much questions. Yes, you want to get more information on some of the topics that we share here. You can easily reach out to us to get that information, and you can subscribe to our WhatsApp channel where I share all the valuable insights. So for you to subscribe to our WhatsApp channel, just go to the WhatsApp channel section and search the Nigeria Landlord on WhatsApp, and then you can subscribe. And if you can't find it, you can just send me a message on WhatsApp, and I will send you the link to the WhatsApp channel. So the number you can send me a message on is 070 711 54297 070 711 54297. All right, so yes, you can just send a message there, and I will send you the WhatsApp link so that you can subscribe to the WhatsApp channel for more insightful and very valuable updates on the real estate market, right? And I share much more information on that, on the real estate over there. Okay, so going into our topic, right? I'd like to give an introduction, right? So as we celebrate International Women's Day, today's conversation is not just any kind of conversation. It's actually very special. It's important for women everywhere. And we're talking about financial empowerment. Please don't call me. Just send me a WhatsApp chat, okay? Just send a WhatsApp chat. All right. So it's important for women everywhere for financial empowerment through property ownership. That's what we're looking at. Across Nigeria, more women are stepping into leadership positions. They're stepping into entrepreneurship, businesses, and investments. But when it comes to real estate and property decisions, many women still face uncertainty, sometimes because of the culture, the societal misconceptions, because of lack of information mostly, and sometimes because these conversations simply do not happen enough. Women are just not proactive in this area. The truth is that women's relationship with property should be intentional, not accidental. And the decisions you make about property can look very different depending on your stage of life. So whether you're single, you're divorced, you're widowed, you're married, the decisions, must actually vary. All right. So, like I said, I'm joined by a special guest speaker who will help us unpack the realities, the risk, and the opportunities women face when it comes to owning and protecting property. And our dear speaker, introducing her, Barrister Efemena O'Harry. She's also known as Sixi Lawyer on social media. Yes, you can search her as Sixi Lawyer across all social media platforms. She's a family, business, and property lawyer and the principal partner at Aiden Royal Attorneys, a law firm based in Lagos, Nigeria. Her core area of practice is family and divorce, business and property law, while she also advises individuals and businesses on corporate compliance, property transactions, and legal documentation. She's passionate about legal education and helping people understand their rights so that they can make informed personal and business decisions. Barrister Efemena also serves as a trustee and the secretary of Female Legal Network Foundation, an organization focused on empowering women and girls through legal advocacy and education. You're welcome, Barrister Efe.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being here. I mean, I'm so happy that you could make out time to be here, given the short notice. Yeah.
When I'm being called upon, especially when, as regards women, I'm passionate about the women folk. So when you made the clarion call, I couldn't resist the urge to.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So, yeah, diving into our topic, right? Looking at topic, we're going to explore all the different stages for women in property investment so that they can make smarter and safer property decision. Just in my introduction earlier, I think that a lot of women do not even actively participate in the real estate market or in the real estate industry, probably because of they are uncertain, in terms of the legalities that has to do with property acquisition, maybe the documentation or the processes, and all of that, the legal framework and all. And so, or maybe they just feel that probably it's more of like a man's world, a man's job. And so they kind of are very as in passive when it comes to property acquisition and investment, and we see a lot of them not actively participating in this market, in this industry. So I want to start, why do you think this laid back mindset for most women?
Well, I would say that it's largely based on our culture.
Okay.
As Nigerians, women have always been at the back burner, being passive. We are seen as people who should take care of the home, the children, and all. I know that women are being more enlightened and occupying leadership roles, but are we doing enough
Yeah.
to enlighten them? Are we giving women that opportunity, to come forward to say, okay, I am a woman, but I can still do as much as the male folk are doing? So over time, this has been the case, but more women are being enlightened and they are taking up leadership roles.
Yeah.
Acquiring properties. But the average Nigerian woman, still have that mentality that her role. Take for example, when a male and a female child is in a family growing up, the woman is being groomed to take care of the home. You're supposed to take care of your home, get married, take care of the home and everything. This are like, they grow up with this mentality.
Yeah.
So when the issue of property comes up, they just feel, oh, the men will take care of it. But a lot is happening. As a family lawyer, when it comes to divorce, for example, when properties are involved, it's usually very, very controversial.
Yeah.
Because I get to see women who have put in so much in marriages, they leave these marriages with nothing. Because either the properties that are being acquired are not in their names, or they cannot produce any substantial evidence to show that they contributed one way or the other to the purchase of the property.
Yeah.
In the time past, when you come to court as a full-time housewife,
Yeah.
maybe during a divorce or a family dispute, for example, and you are able to show the court that while the man is acquiring properties, making money, you are taking care of the home front. The court, in his discretion, might, award some, level of, compensation and
Yeah.
even part of the property to you.
Mm-hmm.
But the law has evolved.
Wow.
Based on a current Supreme Court decision in 2025, it is now shown that you as a woman, even if you are married to this man for donkey number of years, you must show financial contribution, or at the very least your name must be in the title documents. Now for women, if you decide to, whatever it is, you don't even have to understand it. Get a good lawyer to guide you through the process.
Yeah.
It's complicated for the layman, but as a woman, if you have money, there are different investment companies that you can pay instrumentally for different properties over the years. Get your lawyer to help you out, because
Okay. Yeah. Please go ahead.
because I have seen so much, and it breaks my heart to see that we women, we put in so much into these families, and it will be unfortunate that after so many years of investing into the families, and anything happen, divorce, death of the spouse, or anything, dispute in the family, the woman is left with nothing. Buying and acquiring property goes beyond saving money. We are talking about generational wealth. We
Yeah.
are talking about independence. We are talking about financial stability
Yeah.
for women. So I think these are very few, reasons why the female folk is not really into purchase of properties. But I believe that is changing now because, more people are coming out to talk about it. And I believe more women are also acquiring property, but we are not there yet.
Yeah.
But we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. I mean, it's very, very insightful. I mean, you covered a lot of, touched on a lot of points, and I believe that we'll even address some of them going further into the show.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask that, why do you think property conversation is such an important, property ownership is such an important conversation for women in today's Nigeria, especially as we mark the International Day? Because a woman will say like, why should I own a property? I have businesses, like I have my children I'm taking care of. I have things that I need my money for. Why do you think it's such an important conversation for women to own property?
Okay, so like I had earlier said, a lot of things happen. The world we are today is uncertain. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And the Naira, unfortunately, is not appreciating as he should appreciate.
Yeah.
So buying properties will buying property is kind of a long-time investment. It
Okay.
appreciates over time. And despite the devaluation, the Naira depreciating, if you own a property, that property appreciates. And over time, it becomes like wealth for you that you could tap into if anything happens. Now, the traditional and customary laws in Nigeria in the past does not really support women owning or inheriting properties. But that has changed because, the laws in Nigeria are evolving. Now, women, even from the East and all over Nigeria, can actually, be given properties in terms of inheritance.
Yeah.
So a lot is changing as regards property, women owning properties. Now, why should you own a property as a woman? Because you are a human being.
Exactly.
Anything can happen.
As
If the male folk are owning properties, why can't we women own properties?
Yeah.
I usually play with my friends and say, if God felt that, okay, the man should be better than the woman, you should have given the man like 2 legs, 2 heads, so we know they have double what we have. But God gave us the same thing, the same 2 hands, the same mind, everything. So you have the capacity as a woman to make as much wealth as the men.
Exactly.
And it's so important because, like I said, having properties makes you build generational wealth? Who says you can't leave inheritance for your children the way the men do? You know, I was also discussing with a colleague in Chambers, and he asked something. He said, why is it only the men that have to draw up a will? Why can't women do same?
True.
Women can leave something for their children too.
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
so every woman, single, married, divorced, or widowed, if you don't have a property right now, begin to think about it.
Yeah.
As a single lady, in fact, now is the time to start paying instrumentally if you can't pay at once, because a lot can happen in future. And having properties that you could easily sell, and you could easily sell, will go a long way if anything happens. Because see, money is a defense.
Yeah.
If anything happens and you know that you can get money to sort out that issue, it will give you some kind of respite.
True. Exactly. In fact, I can personally attest to
You contribute or not, the fact that you are taking care of the home front, somehow, some way, you are contributing to the the overall welfare of the home, and invariably giving the man the rest of mind to go out there to make money. So have a conversation with your husband and ensure he puts your name in the documentation of any of the properties, just for for the future.
Yeah.
Then as a widow, well, I would say life happens.
Yeah.
Nobody gets married with the hope that she will lose a spouse. But even with the little you earn in your business, you can start acquiring properties little by little.
Thank you so much. You've touched, on the singles, you touched on the married, you touched on the divorced, touched on widows. I want to, start from the singles point of view. For a young professional woman listening today, let me ask this first. What's the biggest advantage of a single woman starting her property journey while she's still single? Because some singles are thinking, I should wait until I'm with my husband for both of us to make that investment together. But what are some of the benefits and advantage of someone starting as a single lady?
Okay, so as a single young lady, you have time on your hands. Responsibilities, liabilities are still minimal.
Yeah.
So let's take, for example, as a single lady, you earn a certain amount. Give or take, you just have yourself to take care of.
Yeah, true.
And send anything you feel like home. But picture out a scenario where you are now married, there are children, there's the rent to pay and other responsibilities that come along with being married. Your resources, you will not have as much resources as you have as a single lady. So that is why it is important as a single lady for you to start now to put something aside. Like I said earlier, there are companies who, encourages or have packages for instrumental payments for people who cannot make outright purchases. So start now.
True.
I've worked with women over the years that I've worked with them through their singlehood down to when they got married. And I promise you, these women are better for it because they are financially independent. They know that whatever comes, there's a cushion somewhere. That's, that and more are one of our reasons that single women should start now to invest in properties, because the liabilities for single women, the average single woman is quite low compared to a woman that is married, a woman that have children, have in-laws and all.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much. I mean, I quite relate to that, because as a single, you have time on your hands, like you said, and also you do not have a lot of responsibilities. It's the best time.
You have more resources.
Yeah, you have more resources available to you. It's the best time actually, to go. I'll tell my friends, my single friends out there, this is the best time. You don't have to wait. I think some people, the societal misconception, they will say, I don't want to be acquiring a lot of property. Let them not think that I am not going to be submissive to my husband. I'm not going to have, I'm not going to have time to raise a family, that kind of mindset.
I was listening to I saw a video post on Instagram. I've forgotten whose video, but she's a popular female figure, and she was saying something that there was a single lady who had the money to buy a high-end property in Banana Island, but her parents, her people keep telling her, if you go there to buy this property, that nobody will marry you.
Yeah, I think
don't know
I
if
saw
you-
that
yeah,
video. I think
that nobody will marry you.
yeah.
You know, you can't go there, you
There,
can't buy
right.
that kind of huge property and
Yeah.
everything. But against all odds and advice, she went ahead to buy this property.
Yeah.
That, do you know, at the end of the day, she got married to the man across the road who owned a bigger property,
You can imagine.
and sold her property and moved into the property
Into a
of her
bigger house.
husband.
I mean,
how cool is that?
How cool. I mean,
If she didn't buy that property, she most probably would not have met her
Definitely,
husband,
I mean,
or a man of that particular, financial
status.
Yeah. So I mean,
I quite agree with this, because sometimes you hold yourself back because you're looking at what people are going to say. You shortchange yourself. That's the truth. So if you're listening to this, please make sure you make that move.
Yes,
all right,
right now.
Do not shrink yourself for anybody. We're celebrating women right now, and we are we're talking about women empowerment, and saying that you should make sure that you go after your dreams, after your goals. All right, so let's go on to the married women for for the next angle. When couples buy property, what should married women pay attention to in terms of documentation and ownership and structure?
okay, so as a married woman, owning properties is something you should discuss with your spouse. Sit down and have a proper discussion with your spouse. Sit down and have a clarity conversation with your spouse in terms of the names on the documentation. I know most people will know this now, but there's nothing like Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Please, the
No, wait,
names,
they're
there's
not. Wait,
nothing
excuse
like
me, Mr. I thought you were meaning that. But I got that information that when you're doing the title, you should do Mr. and Mrs.
what I mean is, let's say Mr. Chinedu Okafo and Mrs. Amara Okafo. So the
Okay.
names should be clearly stated.
Okay.
There's nothing
okay.
like Mr. and Mrs. Okafo.
Okay,
Anybody
it
could
can
be Mrs. Okafo. If you are divorced
Yeah.
today and he marries someone else, that person becomes Mrs. Okafo.
Yeah.
So
it's
the full names should be stated. Have this conversation with your wife. I have done a lot of divorce matters, and it hurts me and it pains me that most of these women leave and eventually get divorced without getting any of the properties, whereas you could see that they've actually worked for this marriage over the years.
Wow.
But because their names are not in any of the documentation, it becomes difficult to prove. So if you are listening as a woman, in fact, I would say, just as an aside, I would say even the men is important, because men have sisters.
Yeah.
They have relatives that are females. So they could also advise them to, start now to begin to acquire properties. Now, for the married women, please, there's nothing in the law that says you cannot acquire your property separately from your husband. And if you must acquire together, let the documentation state, that you are a major contributor to the property. Now, whatever you contribute in terms of, probably you are paying for the decoration, you are paying for the whatever it is you are paying for in the property. Even when you send the money, let your narration show. Because
Okay.
if you are saying, for example, you are trying to prove in court, for example, that, I didn't buy the land, but during building of the property, I actually contributed.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just show financial records saying I contributed 10 million XYZ amount.
Yeah.
What is the 10 million for? What is this amount for? That is why narration is very important, to show the court that I actually didn't buy the property, but I contributed, to help the court in reaching a fair and equitable decision. Now, nobody enters a marriage with the hope that one day you will part with your spouse. But life happens. If life happens, are you prepared? You have to be prepared so that you are not taking unaware as a married woman. So as a married woman doing business, nothing stops you from acquiring your own separate property different from that of your husband. And if you decide that you want to do, joint purchase with your husband, please let the documentation show that it's jointly owned, and let whatever whatever contribution you make as regards the property, let your narration show that it's for whatever it is for. Let your narration show that you actually contributed to the building, to the furnishing, to the finishing of the property.
Yeah, very key. Woman, yeah. Very, very key. Thank you so much for that. Okay, I'm going to open the phone lines. If you like to ask any question on this very insightful topic, this is your time to do that. And the number to call is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. So you should call and ask your questions. You can also send us a WhatsApp chat, a WhatsApp message, chat message on 081 717 56338 081 717 All right, so yes, you're still listening to the Nigerian Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM, and we have been talking about this very insightful topic, which is single, married, divorced, widowed. Yes, single, married, divorced, and widowed property decisions every woman must understand. And this topic is in celebration of the International Women's Day, which is actually being marked on the 8th of March 2026, and that is tomorrow. And so that is why I thought that we should have this insightful topic. All right, I have a caller already. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Hello? Can't hear. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, welcome to the show. What's your name, please? Hello? Are you there? Okay, I can't hear him anymore. All right, so please call back. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Okay, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the show. What's your name, please?
My name is Mr. Desmond, calling from Lagos.
All right, Mr. Desmond, thank you for calling. Let's hear your thoughts.
So, I was so excited that a woman wants to tell the woman there's nothing wrong for a woman to own a property. Because our women in this part of the world felt that it's only man that can do something for them. I'm so excited that a woman can. I wish they have to be repeating, echoing this into women's ears. Because most of our women felt it's about a woman. I'm just come to eat. And then, no. It's only this part of the world. It's only part of this world that this thing is happening. In Europe, it doesn't happen that way. Yeah. A woman can own a house. A woman can, you see, here, a woman can just go to university. In the next minute, she gets married, start giving issues. And I ask you, what is your contribution to your father's house before you get married? It's just all about finish your education and get married. No, you must contribute. That's I can hear a man telling a woman, there's no port authority telling a woman in university, it doesn't make profit. Because of the behavior of our women in this part of the world. Nothing wrong for you to own a property. Nothing wrong for you to buy a car for your father. Nothing wrong for you to do things and make things. The only different thing is what you carry on your lap.
Yeah.
Every other thing is you can do it. So I wish our women will learn what people are telling them. There's nothing wrong for them to own these things. Yeah. You can build a house to your father and tell the daddy, I build this house to your own. I go to your husband and do your own. It doesn't end in giving for having children and end it up. You can just go to your father, daddy, I need money. You can still give you money.
There's nobody stopping you. There's nobody stopping you.
They are actually interested in encouraging the women
to buy. True, because
and let me quickly say this: being married does not automatically mean that everything your spouse owns is jointly owned. Yeah. Especially if documentation is saying otherwise.
Okay.
So women, be wise.
All right, we'll come back to that. Hello, good morning. Hello. I can't hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Welcome
to the show. Yeah, what's up?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What's your name, please?
My name is Argentina. I'm calling from Adon.
Argentina.
I'm calling from Adon.
Yeah, thank you for calling. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I want to say about the civil land and property.
Yeah.
I want to give myself. If you have all this property, don't let a civil man to know you have it. If the man get married to himself and able to get the rightful man. But immediately a civil find out you have this thing, you see that the man loves you. You use this thing as something as before you know, then you just believe it. And the lady will say all this thing before you know, they will run away. So if they know you want to get married, don't allow that man to know all this property you have. So you know the right thing you are getting.
All right, thank you, Argentina, for that critical word of advice. Yes, so you have heard though they're advising you. Don't go be announcing yourself outside.
Yes, the male folk are actually very supportive.
Yeah.
In fact, we have 2 male callers now.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, so
another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name, please?
Yes, my name is Aponwa. I'm calling from Udin.
All right, thank you for calling. Let's hear your thoughts.
Apart what this question I bring today, it's so important. What I try to tell some men, they try because of their ignorance. When some men will telling me that their wife didn't know anything about their business, they didn't know anything about their life, their money in the bank, they didn't get access to the bank. I use myself as for example. The one time I speak. This looks like my wife knows my access to enter my account. My sister, this morning, I'm talking with the police talk. I can't be able to talk. I don't be forgetted man please. But because of woman knows everything about me, knows everything about my account. That's why you have the access to protect my bank.
Yeah.
To do some things you're supposed to do by money access.
Yeah.
Some men, that's why some men, some men will have money in their account. When they are sick, the man, maybe the people at that time, when man they there, he can never able to do anything, he can never able to talk. So, but if your wife have access to your account, you can be able to go and do, because if you went to the Nigerian hospital today, even though the guy enters that grave, doctor will not listen to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I have to cut you off from there. Thank you. You've made your point. Thank you so for calling. All right, so yeah, he's made the point. Just for time, please. That's why I had to let you go. Yeah, he's already made this point that he would even have had some crisis if his wife didn't have access to his account and his finances to be able to cover up when he wasn't even able to be mentally or physically sound to do all of that. And this is why it's important for women to be involved
in their husbands or partners business dealings. So what he's basically saying is that it goes beyond acquiring properties.
Exactly.
Be involved in each other's lives, in each other's businesses. So when the other spouse is unable to come through, whether you are a woman or not, you should be able to step in and handle the situation. I think that's the summary of what he was trying to say,
which is very
so women, you see, the male folk are actually encouraging us to go ahead to do more, own properties, be involved in our spouses' businesses. So it's very important as a single lady, as a married woman, even as a divorced or widow, you are meant to acquire property, be active in business, and contribute your quota to, the nation in general.
Very true, very true. So I want to ask, at what point should a woman stop seeing property as a family decision and start seeing it as a personal financial responsibility. Because you talked about not just partnership investment, but also their own personal investments.
Okay, so I know this has been said, a number of times. As a woman, you are your own person. You are whole.
Yes.
You have to understand that you are whole on your own before getting married. You have an identity aside that of your spouse.
Yeah.
You owe your generation as much generational wealth as your husband does.
True.
It shouldn't be just the husband's job or your partner's job, to create generational wealth. You can do that on your own, or you can do it separately. So when you begin to understand that you are your own person, you have your own needs, you have your own dreams, you have your own life separate from that of your spouse, you begin to see that owning and acquiring property can be a joint venture, but it can also be an individual venture, because like I'd said, life happens and both of you can go your individual ways. And one thing I've seen over the years in couples coming in for consultation and all is that most women, especially, this actually relates to the married women, most of them stay in these marriages because they are afraid that there's nothing out there to go back to.
Yeah.
But if a woman owns 1, 2, or 3 property somewhere, the woman can say, I can't remain in this abusive marriage.
Yeah.
Let me sell what I have and start life afresh. Just yesterday, I was at Gender in GRE Ikeja, and it was clear. I was there to represent a client. It was clear that the woman was unhappy in the marriage. They have not spoken in years, though they live in the same house.
Wow.
She hardly even stay in the house. They live in separate bedrooms. They don't talk to each other. There's nothing connecting them, but the woman still lives in that house. And one lady said something that worked in, said, why are you still living in a house that there's clearly no love, nothing joining both of you? And one thing the woman had said from everything during that session was that she owns the property as much as the husband does. And on further inquiry, we looked at the title document. It was only the husband's name.
Wow.
That was in it. And I shook my head that if only this woman knows what is coming from her. I mean, what is coming for her. Because the man has already filed for divorce.
Wow.
Though I don't know what they are telling her out there, that, okay, based on the fact that she has spent, certain number of years in the marriage, she's entitled to part of the property. I want to see what they have to offer in court. I want to see the evidence to show, because the court deals with hard proof, evidence. You can't just come and be telling this story.
Wow. So it doesn't apply anymore, that the fact that I was raising his children, I was, taking care of the home and all of that, doesn't it count for something?
Maybe based on, each judge involved, maybe out of, pity, something can be awarded, but there's nothing concrete. Because the court is bound by the evidence before it. Who has if the transactional receipt is not showing your name, the title document.
Good morning.
Yeah, we have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi,
good morning, Susan.
Yeah, welcome to the show. What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Leo Hamadike.
Okay, Leo, welcome to the show. Yeah. I'm calling
from here like this.
All right, thank you for calling. Let's hear your thoughts, Leo.
Yeah. Please, I just want to ask 2 questions.
Okay.
Please, these laws and advocacies of women owning properties and the rest of it, is it for the whole Nigeria or for a particular section in this country?
It's for every woman.
Yes,
for every woman?
Yes, every woman.
But can you tell me that we are, let me put it that way, we are achieving it?
That's why we're having this conversation.
Please, because this conversation will end to a particular section of this country. And when you ask some people now, or if some people want to speak now, they will speak when you go to eastern side of the country, that they used to maltreat this and that. When their husband died, they took over everything. But can you tell me the reason in this world, or okay, let me control saying only Nigeria now, in this country, when a woman, somebody will go and cut some piece of clothes black, then boil the hole on it and wear a woman. The woman will wear hand glove or stockings in the leg, will wear in the hand, all in the name of, let me call it name, all in the name of religion. And all of us are seeing it. And they are moving everywhere and nothing will be done about it and nobody is saying anything.
Okay, so
that is why this country is that's why this country is not working. And that thing when you took it, we are in this country when some section of this country rose up said that they are not going to take salute from a cadet woman in the army. And that thing is welcomed here in this country. And we are advocating, saying women this, women that, because all this is going to the east and the south, particularly to the east. So it is not going around. It is not, we are not achieving anything. There are some people that hold this country at ransom. Today, think about this that I have said. I think you have seen all those things. This thing that I'm talking. A woman created by God will wear black and black, both stockings in the leg, everything. He never knew what they call clothes, except that black and black they sew for them. And they wear it. And they should I say they are forced to be happy. And it is happening till tomorrow. What do you have to say about that?
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling, Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's coming from the religious aspect and also the political, background. I think I extend some of politics about some women being restricted, but I would also want to point out that the fact that they are wearing hijabs, because he didn't want to call the name hijabs, it's their religion. I mean, nobody's going to stop anybody from practicing their religion, right? But what would you say about some women being, apart from the religion, looking at the the political background, women, there are some women that are not even given that opportunity to buy properties. They're in some regions, they're kind of being suppressed, so to speak. Do you see that? Do you see that still being prevalent in the economy right now?
Yes. It's a challenge, and that is why we need to keep creating awareness. Hopefully these women are allowed to listen to radio, watch TV, create awareness for them to see that they are individuals. Like you said, it's their religion, however they choose to practice it, so long as it's not repugnant to equity and good conscience. I mean, they grew up being this way and it's their religion and they decide to be bound by it. So I don't think it has anything. Yeah,
your religion should not stop you from investing, from owning your property.
I mean,
your religion shouldn't stop you.
So that is why you are creating awareness.
Exactly.
And hopefully one day, it will get to them. It might not get to them today, it might not get to them tomorrow, but the world is evolving. Nigeria is evolving. It will eventually get to them. Maybe not now, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually it will get to them.
Yeah, I think the fact that more women are speaking up, and I think it's not just about financial literacy now, it's more about education. True, because first of all, before you even get to the point of financial literacy, you must already be educated to even know what financial literacy is and what entrepreneurship is, what empowerment is. If you don't have education, if you don't know how to read or write, if you don't know how to, be able to earn.
Well, I would say it's more. I would say it's more like exposure.
Okay.
We have people who are not educated, but they are exposed. They've seen what owning properties, investing in different investments can do, how it can make them financially stable. So I will rather say it has to do more with exposure
okay.
than
When I say education, I don't mean like
formal education.
High education. I mean at least the basic,
Because what is stopping the people our last caller just referred to now as being not allowed to, do what they want is exposure.
Yeah.
If they are exposed, some of them are educated, some of them are master's degree holders, PhD degree holders, but they are not allowed to do these things. So I will rather say it goes more to exposure, being exposed, being like what is happening, the trends in the world. I think is more of that, not really so much as education, because you can have all the education in the world and still not see the importance of investing.
True. So I would like to ask, because our time is up, so I'm going to round up with this question, is if a woman spends 20 or 30 years contributing to a household financially but owns nothing in her name, would you consider that a financial risk?
Yes.
It's a financial risk.
Yes, it's a financial risk.
Wow. Why did you say that?
Because more or less you are contributing to the man building wealth. What stops you from building your own wealth? Why contributing to him building wealth? Thank God for COVID-19. Since COVID-19, you can actually make money from the comfort of your home. So it's no longer an excuse that because you're a full-time housewife, that is why you don't own any investments.
Yeah.
So you have to do more to prove to the court, if the chips are down, that you actually contributed to the overall wealth and investment of the family. You have to do more other than just spending donkey amount of years with your spouse.
Wow.
You have to do
even
more.
If you're raising the food.
That's the current position of the law.
Wow. Okay. So finally, if you could give one powerful piece of advice to every woman listening today about property ownership, what would it be?
Well, I would say that investments, especially in property, creates generational wealth.
Yeah.
Over time. So whether you are single, married, divorced, a widow, please begin to consider creating wealth, investment. And while doing it, hold your lawyer along with you so that you don't waste money. Because I always tell clients, if you don't have money for documentation, then don't invest in properties.
Okay.
Because your documentation is as important as the purchase of the property itself.
Thank you so much, Barrister Efe. It was phenomenal having you. And it's always a bomb, bringing you here. Thank you so much. And I want to apologize to all callers. I'm so sorry. I couldn't take most of the calls because if I take most of the call, we won't be able to, really analyze this topic and, create some points that people would need, to go ahead with, their future decisions. So I'm hoping to have Barrister come back, anytime soon. So we'll, analyze it more. I'm roping her in now.
I will be here anytime I'm being called upon.
Thank you so much. All right. So yes, we'll come out your way again same time next week. Have a beautiful weekend. Stay blessed, stay rich and free, and happy International Women's Day to every woman out there. You are loved. You're special.
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. Bye for now.